Okay, now that we've had some time to think about our experiences, let's share them. Hayley?
Well, one time I didn't eat my vegetables, so I didn't get dessert for dinner.
Really? So what lesson did you learn from that?
To eat all my food so I can have a yummy dessert.
Very good.
There was one time I didn't make my bed, so my mom made me make everyone's bed for a month.
Wow, so what'd you learn from that?
I should always make my bed.
Yeah.
And one time I didn't do my homework, so I wasn't allowed to go outside for recess.
You didn't like that, did you?
No.
No. So what lesson did you learn?
To do my homework.
Yeah. All right. So this kind of works the same way in stories. You can kind of see the cause and effect. So then that can lead us to help recognize the lesson of a story or the moral. So now we're going to watch a short story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Some of you might recognize this. And after it, we're going to fill out this worksheet on your own, and it's just going to identify there's 2 cause and effects in this story. And you can label them. In the first set of arrow and starburst, you're going to label the first cause and effect, and the second one is the second cause and effect, and then the third area is going to be what the moral of the story is, which that did not show up on there, so it's supposed to look like this, moral of the story, and that last one. Alright, so let's do the story.
Once, there was a shepherd boy who tended a flock of sheep not far from his village. As a shepherd, his job was to make sure that the villagers' sheep were safe and didn't wander away. One day, when the shepherd boy was feeling bored, he decided to play a trick on the villagers to amuse himself. The boy started yelling, "Wolf! Wolf!" as loud as he could, because he knew the villagers would come running to protect him and the sheep. Well, there was no wolf. The shepherd boy was lying. When the villagers arrived, the boy laughed at them. The villagers realized that they had been tricked, and they became angry at the boy. The shepherd boy, however, thought it was funny to make the villagers stop what they were doing and come running. He played the same trick on the villagers the next day, then again the day after. Both times the villagers were very upset. A few days later, as the boy was tending the sheep, a real wolf approached the flock. When he saw the wolf, the boy immediately yelled, "Wolf! Wolf!" But this time, no one came to help the shepherd boy. The villagers thought the boy was up to his old tricks again. They didn't want to be laughed at, so they simply ignored his cries. Sadly, this time it wasn't a trick. The boy was no match for the wolf, and it easily stole the sheep. From this, the shepherd boy learned 2 important lessons. First, you should never yell for help if you don't really need it. Second, if you tell lies, people won't believe you, even when you're telling the truth. The boy went to the villagers and apologized for how he had been acting, and asked for another chance. He promised he would never fail them again. It took many months for everyone to trust him, but the shepherd boy had learned his lesson. Because of the shepherd boy's hard work, the wolf never stole another one of the villagers' sheep.
All right. So, I'll give you some time to finish filling out your graphs. All right. I think we're all pretty much done now. We did really good work today, guys. Now we all should be able to determine the moral of a story. Let's see what we came up with on our worksheets, and let's take turns going around and going through each one of these steps and explaining what we thought through that to figure out our moral. So Hayley, do you want to tell us the cause and effect in the story?
The cause was the boy wanted to have fun, so he lied about a wolf, and the effect was that when there really was a wolf, no one came to help him.
Yeah, right. Okay. So then Ashley, what was the difference between the two cause and effects?
Well, with the first cause, he cried wolf as a joke, and the villagers came running. And then with the second cause, he cried wolf, and there actually was a wolf, so the villagers didn't come running, and the wolf got all the sheep. So the difference between the outcomes were they came running and they didn't come running.
Yep, exactly. All right. And Erica, so how did these effects maybe lead to the end of the story?
These effects led to basically, since he cried wolf, they were angry, but then when he kept doing it over, they just thought he was lying. So when there was an actual wolf, they didn't come. So it's just saying, don't lie, because people aren't going to trust you.
Yep, exactly. All right, so now we need to apply our knowledge and see what the character could have done differently, which you can kind of see in the second effect here. So what, Hayley, you can tell us to apply our knowledge to what this character could have done differently.
He could have not lied to begin with and found another way to have fun while with his sheep.
Yep, exactly. So we should be able to figure out the moral of the story through all of these steps, which is that if you keep lying, people aren't going to believe you. All right. Thank you all for being here today. I had fun with you all. And just remember, when you want to determine the moral of the story, you need to look at the cause and effects and realize what the lesson was learned.